So it just depends on your patient. All right, are we ready? You want to come on this side of me again? All right, so my goal is to have this rim be 20 to 22 millimeters from the height here to here, and you pick the tallest portion. So from the top of this, not where the frenum is, but the top of the vestibule down should be 20, and the anterior from the top down should be 22, okay? Right now, I want to get you all to see how to get it on here. So now that I have this shape, it's a little bit undercut back here. I can add some wax in this area. I can push this wax out a little bit. My goal is to have the center of this slightly buckle to my lines, okay? Or when you look at it in this way, if I compare the center of this to this line, it should be traveling slightly buckled to it. I'm pretty happy with where I've got that. I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to look at the anterior. Right now I'm pretty straight. I want to come out just a little bit. So I'm going to have to add some wax here, or I'm going to have to push the whole thing out and then fill in the undercut. I also want to see that my edge here lines up with the line that I have out here. And I'm pretty close. If I look down the center of this, I'm pretty close to that line where my incisive papilla is coming across there. This anatomy is kind of funny. You see, it's not the same on the left as it is on the right. I don't have my pencil anymore, but this line should be about here and this line about here. We can follow that arch form. I'm going to add some wax up here. Right now it's kind of dipping in and then coming out. Let me go into the main camera. Y'all can see that. There's a little bit of an undercut right in this area right here. So it's further out down here, further out here, and then it's like concave here in the center. So I want to fill that in. There's two ways to do that. One, you can take a spatula and heat it and do like I've been doing, where you push it on, drop it onto the cast. I feel like that takes me forever. What I like to do is heat the edge, just like when we did our custom trays. Heat my knife, cut the piece that I want, and I lay it on here in the areas that I want it, and now I can just heat it on the cast. So I'm keeping this all about 2 millimeters above the bottom or the land area of my record base. I'm keeping that area free from wax. So before I heat this, I'm going to put it where I want it. Now I can either flame it in, or I can just take a hot instrument. This particular torch is not working very well, but that's a little better. So I'm not flaming it really quickly. I'm just doing it until it starts to melt a little, and I blend the two pieces together. I don't want it running all over the place. It's just going to make a mess on my cast. It's going to just thin out too much. And then I can come back and I can shape it up a little bit with an instrument that's hot. Kind of move it to where I want it. The other thing I like to do with a warm instrument is to seal the wax around onto the base. This just gives you a little bit more security in not letting it slide off of the record base. You can also do this with your flame. You can just come in, lightly flame it, hold it still, come around to the next area, let the wax get a little bit molten in that area, and then just let it harden on to the record base as it cools. This is the way I typically do it. You can't get too excited and do too many areas at once though, because as I turn this cast, the wax is gonna go with gravity and it's gonna take up the space as I turn it. Just heating that, filling in that void. I'm gonna let it cool. Come back and do the other side. I'm just shaping it into the form that I want it. Trying to keep this anterior portion mimicking our incisors, tapering back as we go. I got a little void there, I'm just going to fill it in. This makes it feel good to the patient's tongue. It feels smooth and more natural, or as natural as wax can. Okay, someone pointed out that I probably should add some wax here. Okay, we're more than a centimeter from here to here. For time purposes, I'm not going to do that, but for you all, just know that it should be a centimeter. Once you have this 45-degree angle, once you have that, it should be a centimeter from here to the back. Okay, so you just have to roll another little section and add it on. You want, again, both pieces of wax to be hot before you put them together. Otherwise, it's not going to stick to itself. And once I have all this on here, I've got a little excess running. Again, because I'm working quickly to show you all, but I'm going to clean that up before I take it to my patient's mouth. I like to take it off the cast so that I can see the margin of the wax and the base plate. And this is where I'm going to have a little bit more room because the land area is not in my way to come in and blend these two together. And if you get this wax up over the depth of the vestibule or more than a millimeter or two from the border, you can just come back and just clean it off. Okay, like there's too much there. I'm not comfortable with that. So I'm gonna come back and I'm just gonna smooth some of it off. I want to put it back, make sure that I don't have wax touching my land area, that I'm totally free from those interferences, and I'm almost done with this one. Okay, I'm going to validate my heights, all of that stuff. I'm not measuring this because I don't know, if you all have a clear ruler in your kits, that's what I would use to measure your height. Okay, this I'm just coming back and cleaning off. While it's still a little bit warm, I'm cleaning this off the palette. You want this to be smooth for your patient. Your patients are going to trust you a whole lot more, and they're going to trust the process a whole lot more when there aren't huge globs of wax on everything, when things feel nice, clean, and smooth, okay? So this should mimic your arch form, slightly buckled to the crest of the ridge, 45-degree angle here, 1 centimeter from the posterior edge of your record base, 12 to 15 degrees out. And you can see I still have a little bit of an undercut. I need to probably add a little bit. I'm going to show you all how to adjust your heights with your hot plate and also the anterior portion. So I'm actually, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and add just one more little piece of